Another aircraft of some sort, airship, balloon, something was shot down today. Who owns it? What were the circumstances? Was the president directly involved in ordering this? And is wreckage being recovered?
Yes, Joe Biden has shot down another balloon. He is losing it. He wants to make sure that no balloons travel throughout the United States anymore. So if you are over there in Disneyland or at an amusement park or at a birthday party, lay low, because Joe Biden is on a balloon popping rampage and you don't want to be the next victim. Yeah. Okay. So there's going to be a lot to this video here. I'm going to go over this new balloon and the information that we have right now, and I'm going to go over the debris that they found in the ocean and the consequences of having this Chinese balloon traveling throughout the United States and what it was actually doing. And then I'm going to get into how vulnerable we are with China. So stay tuned to the end, because it's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry. Just make sure you have your blood pressure medicine close, because, you know, I don't know how this video is going to turn out. It's a free for all around here. But thanks for joining me here today on Ride IQ. I appreciate it. My name is Ty, and I'm going to go ahead and get into this story right here. So yes, Joe Biden popped a balloon over Alaska. They're not exactly sure what kind of a balloon it was. They just know that it was in Alaska, it was flying, and it needed to be shot down. So what did they do? They shot that puppy down. But they want to make sure that the American people are very aware that the Biden administration and the military took decisive action and shot this balloon down with force and vengeance. They wanted to send a message to anybody who wanted to fly balloons within the United States that that is not acceptable and it will not be tolerated. Yeah, that's exactly right. Listen to this clown show over there with this press briefing with I don't even know what this guy's name is, but take a listen to this.
Yes, the president absolutely was involved in this decision. He ordered it at the recommendation of Pentagon leaders. He wanted it taken down, and they did that. They did it using fighter aircraft assigned to U.S. Northern Command.
Wait a minute. I thought it was dangerous to shoot it down over land. The only thing we've been hearing for the last few days since this first balloon traveled across the U.S. is that it was too dangerous to shoot it down. We couldn't shoot it down in Alaska. We couldn't shoot it down over Montana. We couldn't shoot it down through the Midwest, where there is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of square miles of open land. We couldn't do it then. We had to wait for it to go all across the United States and into South Carolina's ocean. We had to wait. It was that important. So if it was that important to wait for it to go across the United States because of the safety of the American people, then why did we shoot this one down over here in Alaska? Why couldn't we shoot the original one down in Alaska? Huh? But do we even know where this balloon came from? Let's find out.
We do not know who owns it, whether it's state-owned or corporate-owned or privately owned. We just don't know.
So let me get this straight. We knew very quickly that the first balloon, the Chinese spy balloon, was a Chinese balloon well before it hit Montana. We knew that. That was very obvious to everybody. But this balloon, we have no idea where it came from. All of a sudden, the federal government has no answers. No answers. Does that sound acceptable to anybody? No. I'm thinking something about this is fishy. Like, do we even know, like, what kind of a payload it had? If it had any payload at all? Let them clear this up for you.
It was much, much smaller than the spy balloon that we took down last Saturday. The way it was described to me was roughly the size of a small car. No significant payload, if you will.
Okay. None of this makes any sense. None of it at all. Here's what I think. Let me put my tinfoil hat on and get into a little bit of conspiracy theory that I have. Something tells me that this was all for show. This was for the American public's consumption. So because Joe Biden caught so much heat from that balloon, he wanted to show that he was the man in charge. But all this does is raise more questions than answers. And they're feeding this because they need to save face. Joe Biden is in hot water right now because what he did classifies as treason. Now, I'm not saying that anybody's going to get wrap him up and, put the cuffs on him and throw away the key. I'm not thinking that's going to happen at all. I think the military is with him. I think that the FBI, the CIA is with him. I think the media is with him. And I don't think anything's going to come of this. But this was just so that he could save face and tell the American public that he is in charge and that he will not allow China to take advantage of the U.S. anymore. This was all for show. This was for the American people's digestion. And this makes me crazy right here. Because if you knew that you had the ability to shoot that down, why did you allow the first spy balloon to run across the entire United States and suck up all of that information? Oh, yeah, they now know for sure, or at least they're making it known publicly from the White House, that the first spy balloon was a spy balloon and it was sucking up information. Listen to this.
This balloon had the ability to eavesdrop. It had signals intelligence capability. And that is one detail that's now emerged. They're confirming that on the record now. Also, that this was a program directed by the Chinese military. So it was an explicit military program according to the Biden administration. And also that the manufacturer of the balloons is basically a company in the defense industry in China. So very much part of the military defense complex in China.
Yes, of course it was the Chinese CCP military. Of course it was. What are we paying the CIA and the FBI and all these intelligence agencies for? Like, it took them a week to figure this out. I think everybody like you and me, we had this figured out on day one. I don't think that, a regular civilian over there in China would be spying on the U.S. That doesn't make any damn sense at all. We're paying billions and billions of dollars to the Department of Defense, to our military, all this equipment, all this high-tech stuff that we're paying for, and this is what we get. Oh, that's money well spent, let me tell you. If this is our military, if this is our military system today, we are in big trouble when it comes to China. We're in big trouble. And like I mentioned, they're pulling out that spy balloon, the first one. They're pulling that out of the ocean right now. They got the big portion of that, and they came up with some new questions. They want to know, how is it that we are just finding out that these spy balloons are traveling around the U.S. and the world? Listen to this.
And why was it that the military and the intelligence agencies, it really took them literally years to figure out that these, vehicles flying into the airspace were indeed Chinese balloons?
Yeah, this is crazy to me. This is crazy because we are giving our intelligence community hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars throughout the years. And we have the highest tech equipment in the world. And we can't even figure out whether this is a spy balloon from China or not. We don't even know if the one that they shot down today was a spy balloon or not. We don't know where it came from. Yeah, it was half the size, a third the size, and they shot it down. That's great job, great work. But you allowed China to suck up all of the information from the United States, going over all of our military installations, our missile silos, and you didn't bat an eye. You're like, oh no, we need to wait till it goes over the ocean. You guys are so full of it. You're full of it. The American people see it. You are becoming a laughing stock. This government, this military is pathetic. It is pathetic. And then they come out with this balloon today. I think it's all crap. I think this balloon that came out today that they shot down was all for show. Because they are eating some crow off of this first one. Because we were never supposed to find out about it. We were never supposed to find out about this balloon going across the United States, sucking up all of our sensitive information. Yeah, and it doesn't even matter to me what type of information that they were sucking up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they were taking Polaroid pictures of the trees as they were going by. None of that matters. It's not supposed to be here. It is not supposed to be in our sovereign air. It's in our sovereign territory, and Joe Biden allowed it to go through. Why? Why? Is it because he's bought and paid for? Is it because he's paying off a debt to China through the Penn Biden think tank? Maybe? Yeah, that's exactly what I think it is. And the more he does, the more it becomes obvious to me that he is captured by the Chinese. He is working as an agent of the Chinese CCP. I don't know how it can be any clearer. I don't need them to tell me that that's what's happening. Everything that's happening around us today shows us exactly that that's happening. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. It really doesn't. Let's go ahead and go to this next clip. This right here, this next clip should make your jaw drop.
Fox has learned China's spy balloon had Western-made parts with English words on them, raising new concerns about who and from which Western nation sold them to China. A senior State Department official has only gone so far as to say the manufacturer has a direct relationship with China's military.
Excuse me, what? What? Did he just say that it was an American company? Did he just say that it was American technology on that spy balloon that was sending information back to China? Did he just say that American companies are working with China against the United States? This is what happens when you allow American products, American manufacturing to be sent over to our enemy. An enemy that is said out loud and has been very clear with the fact that they want to dethrone the United States and take us down, and so that they can reign over the world. They want to become the world's military power. They want to become the world elite power. And we are sending our sensitive personal information, personal technology, military technology over to China to have it built over there. From what I understand, any manufacturer that does business over there in China, they're actually doing business with the CCP. And one of the regulations that they have is that you have to give up all of the information that it takes to build this stuff. So anything that we send over there to build, we are giving them the blueprints so that they can build it themselves. And anything that we send over there for them to build, they have their fingerprints all over it, whether it's military or whether it's, just regular stuff that you get off of Amazon. And this should infuriate everybody because we have lost all of our manufacturing to China. Most of it, like 80, 85%, maybe 90% of our manufacturing has went to China. So they carry the blueprints for everything that we design, everything that we build goes over to China. And then they use it. But what they're saying is that it had English writing on it or American writing on it, which means that you and I can go up there and read what these components say. So what that tells me is the manufacturer is just building it, whether it's built in China or built in the US or built wherever in a European country where they speak English, they're building it and sending it to China. Why are they doing that? Why would an American company send American technology over to the CCP knowing exactly what that equipment is for? Why would they send that over to the CCP knowing what they're going to do with it? More treason? Or maybe it's more nefarious. Maybe somebody in our government gave them the blueprints of this technology. I don't know if that's true because I don't think that it would have American writing on it. I think it would have Chinese writing on it. But this is crazy. But they have confirmed They have confirmed, listen to this next clip, they have confirmed that they were sucking up all of the information. And the United States couldn't do anything about it. So that balloon was traveling all over the United States, sucking up, I don't know whether it was valuable information, cell phone towers, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, but they were sucking up all of this information. And the U.S. told us, the U.S. And Joe Biden told us that they were blocking the transmission so that they couldn't transmit it back to China. And I said in the last video that I thought that that was false. I believe that I had believed at that time that they didn't block it. And now they're confirming it. Listen to this.
Adding that the spy craft had multiple antennas to collect and geolocate communications and solar panels large enough to power intelligence collection sensors.
The tool package, the equipment package on that balloon was enormous. We were not able to jam the transmissions. We don't know the extent of the program.
I knew it. I called it. I told you that I don't think that they were blocking those transmissions. And it turns out that they weren't, even though that's what they said they were doing. They tried to make us all feel better by saying, don't worry, it's not getting anything. It's useless. It's harmless. It's harmless. It's not doing anything because we're blocking the transmission. It can't do anything. Right? They lied. Our government lied to us when they told us that it was blocking the transmission, because now we are 100% certain that it wasn't. So Joe Biden allowed that thing, knowing what it was doing. He knew damn well what that balloon was doing when it was crossing the United States. He knows more than we do about it. He knew damn well what it was doing, and he still allowed it. Where is our military? Oh, yeah. They're with Joe. This is ridiculous. We are living in clown world for sure. Clown world. In what world is this okay? If we were to send a spy balloon over to China, what do you think they would do? You think they'd shoot it down? Yes. Yes, they would shoot it down. And what do you think would happen after that? Well, there would be some repercussions, I'm sure of it. How do I know that? Because they're already saying that they are reserving the right to retaliate for shooting down their balloon into the ocean. Yeah, that's what they're saying. The hubris of that statement is ridiculous, right? And who knows? Maybe Joe will send it to him. I don't know. We will have to wait and see. Joe's awful friendly with them. But what should have happened, what should be happening right now, is that Joe Biden should be putting some massive sanctions on China. There should throw them out of the UN. Something. Nothing is happening. Joe Biden is acting like nothing is wrong here. What is everybody upset about? It's just a freaking balloon. If it was just a freaking balloon, then why'd you shoot down the second one? Can you tell me that, Joe? Can you tell me that? No, I didn't think so. Take a look at this next clip here. This next clip. The Republicans are the smartest people in Washington, I guess. That statement will probably make some Democrats very angry. But listen to this. They said they couldn't shoot it down, but look. Listen to this.
Further classified details were shared with both the House and Senate today inside a closed-door briefing. Republicans left still convinced the administration should have shot the balloon down over Alaska or Montana.
They could have taken that balloon down, and the greatest risk would have been hitting a cow, a prairie dog, or an antelope.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. There is tens of thousands, or maybe even hundreds of thousands of square miles of land between Montana and South Carolina, that they could have dropped that thing down anywhere. They could have dropped it down slowly by letting the helium out slowly and letting it slowly go down to the ground floor, or they could have done it quickly, which is what they did over the ocean, and just pop the hell out of it. But they didn't do anything. Nothing. Nothing at all. And at least, there are some Republicans that have some common sense over there and say, hey, look, even if you didn't see it coming, at least you could have brought it down when you knew what was happening, but you didn't, right? And don't tell us that you couldn't have done it. It wasn't safe, because there was plenty of opportunity to do it. That's exactly what these guys are saying. But these Democrats, these partisan Democrats, these Democrats that refuse to look at reality and are always in protection mode of their party, like Team Blue, right? Support Team Blue. They will not ever admit that they did something wrong, or anybody on their team did anything wrong or could have been done differently. Listen to this. If this doesn't infuriate you and tell you what is wrong with our political system today, if this doesn't anger you, I don't know what will. Listen.
But Democrats felt it was right to wait until it floated over water.
I do think it made sense for us to learn something about this balloon, given that it really posed no threat to the United States.
So this is the level of genius that we have in our political systems today. This Chris Murphy guy, this Democrat in the Senate. He says that it posed no danger to the United States. Information in the wrong hands is dangerous. Is this guy stupid? He's either ignorant or a fool, maybe both. This guy has no business being in power at all. This is the guy that's supposed to be passing bills and protecting the United States. He believes that balloon had no significance on the safety and security of America and the American people. Are you kidding me? My mind is blown on the stupidity of these politicians. Blown. But don't worry. Fear not. Fear not, because they have taken a stand. In the House, they have taken a stand to make sure to teach China a lesson. Listen to this.
In a rare moment of unity, the House actually got together and unanimously passed a resolution condemning China for violating U.S. sovereignty.
Well, it's comforting to me to know that China got a well-placed slap on the hand. I will be able to sleep better at night, and I'm sure my daughter will be able to sleep better too. I'll tuck her in there and kiss her goodnight, and she's going to be able to sleep better tonight knowing that China has been taught a lesson. This can't be all that happens. This cannot be the extent of China's punishment for invading U.S. sovereign territory. This cannot be the extent of the punishment for Joe Biden for letting this happen and allowing this to happen. This is ridiculous. And these are crimes against the United States, not just by China, but by Joe Biden also. At what point is this going to end? At what point is somebody that has any power at all going to step up and say enough is enough? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Not while you got these articles coming out. I got this article here from Fox News. Border Patrol apprehensions of Chinese nationals at the southern border are up 800%. 800%. Why? Why are Chinese nationals coming over at the border, and why is it increasing so much now? 800%. Can you tell me why? 800%. It's one of two things. Either people are escaping China and trying to come to the U.S., which is feasible, it's plausible, it could happen. Or are Chinese CCP sending their military over that border right now and creating sleeper cells in America? They already have thousands of spies within the United States. Why wouldn't they send over military too? Why? I don't know. Just a question I pose. Just a question I pose. I got this other one here. It's from the Daily Caller. U.S. military is almost completely dependent on China for key minerals used in ammunition. So we are completely dependent on China for our military ammunition. How is that a good idea again? Can somebody fill me in on this? Can somebody tell me why it's such a good idea to have China creating our ammunition, or at least holding some of the materials that we need for the ammunition? Can somebody explain that to me? That's not it. Let's see, May 28, 2018, the national interest. U.S. military's greatest weakness is China build, the U.S. military's greatest weakness. China builds a huge chunk of it. Yeah. And what they go on to talk about in here is they go in and talk about the U.S. military solid rocket engines use a substance called dechlorane. Dechlorane, I think it's what it's called. There is no domestic supplier for this material. So our solid rocket engines require this material of dechlorane that we do not mine for, we don't have access to, and China is the only one that has them. So our solid state rockets, which would be for, I'm guessing, our missiles. Maybe it would be for, I don't know, our jets. I don't know. And it goes on to say that 90% of the world's printed circuit boards are manufactured in Asia and more than half in China. 90% of the world's circuit boards. Military circuit boards. 50% of them are being made in China. Can anybody tell me what they think might be a problem within that? So if the military is getting their circuit boards from China, our biggest competitor, our biggest adversary, and the one person that we can say that we're truly at war with right now, even though it's a Cold War, it's still a war. We're getting our circuit boards for them, so what could they do with that? I don't know, maybe they could put a virus in there, in that circuit board. Or maybe they could, put in the technology that makes that circuit board shut down at the command of China. Yeah, dangerous. And then this is an oldie but a goodie. But China is building a mock versions of the U.S. military ships in their desert. Why would they do that? So we get our ammunition from them. We get our circuit boards for them. We get the materials for the solid state rockets from them. And they're building a mock versions of the U.S. military ships in the desert. Why are they doing that? If they were friends and allies of ours, why would they do that? It seems to me like they're preparing for something. Are we preparing? What are we doing besides allowing them put their run their space balloons or their space balloons, their spy balloons throughout the United States? We know, and these are just the headlines of the mainstream media. This nothing top secret here, but our military knows a lot more than this. They know what China is planning on doing. They know what China's intentions are. They are very aware of it. And they are very aware of how dependent we are on China for our military. And they are continuing forward. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not a doomer gloomer. I'm not a black piller. I'm not trying to black pill you, but I'm just trying to put things in perspective here. Our federal government and our military is captured. That's what it looks like from right here. See, I'm an opinion guy. I give you opinions based on the information that I have available at the time. Okay? You give me new information and my opinion changes because it has to. But at this point, I don't see how we would win a war with China. What I see is that China is holding all of the cards. And we are allowing them to. Not only are we allowing them to hold all the cards, we are giving them ours. We are giving them our cards. So we can sit over here, play tough if we want. But China's going to eat our lunch. Their population is in the billions. Ours is in the millions. We sent 80 to 90% of our manufacturing plants over to China. If we were to go to war with China, everything would stop, which means that the American economy would come to a screeching halt very quickly. And if that happens and we have no manufacturing to help pull us out of the depression that we will land in, then we're doomed. We're doomed. And our politicians are setting us up for this. Where in the hell is our military? I've asked this over and over again. Where are they? You have General Milley over there under the Trump administration stating that if Trump was going to attack, then Milley would give them a heads up. And nothing happened with him. He is still serving in our military. That is treason. When is this going to stop? Is this going to stop when China invades the U.S.? Or is this going to stop when our military maybe finally steps up? I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. I don't have any great news for you on this. All I can tell you is that we have incompetent leaders and we have incompetent military. And I'm not talking about the guys lower on the totem pole. I'm talking about the military leadership. We have incompetent people at the Department of Defense. We have incompetent people over at the Department of Justice. We are surrounded in the United States by incompetence, and all they want us to do is watch the Grammys, watch them salute their Satan, and pray to their false gods and kneel to the altar of LGBTQ. When are we going to wake up? I'm not a doom and gloomer, but show me the good news here. All right. I am sorry to lay that on you guys, but after this second balloon that they shot down today, I thought it would be very good to add some perspective to this whole entire thing, because we are just getting bombarded with one story after another story after another story, and we never have the ability to put it all together. But it's all one. It all comes from the same rot that is our federal government. And I'm not saying, look, I've told you guys many times before, I am not a violent person. I am not saying you need to go out there and be violent, but we have got to push change in our government now, before it's too late. And don't be invisible. Speak up. Yell from the rooftops in any way that you possibly can. That is the only way that we are going to get back our sovereignty and get some common sense and sanity back into our federal government. This needs to stop. And it needs to stop now. I don't know that we're going to be able to last 2 more years. I just don't know that. I think if Trump was to get in there today, I think that he would start turning things around, but it's still going to take years to make that happen. So if it takes 2 years for him to get into office, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 years for him to fix it, or whoever else to fix it, where does that leave us? Do you honestly think that China's going to wait for us to get our shit together before they attack? They're going to wait until we are at our weakest. And right now, it seems to me that we're pretty close to our weakest right now. Right now. So we should pay attention to that. We should watch our sixes, and any chance that we have to yell at the rooftops, yell off the rooftops, do it. Do it. Call your senators, call your congressmen and say, you know what? I've had enough of this. Enough. But anyways. There's a great Friday story for you. Of course, these things always happen on Friday, but I hope that you guys got something out of this video. I hope that I was able to put it together in a neat package for you, to where it kind of brings everything together. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. I love you. And if you like the video, like and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed over there on Rumble, make sure you go do that, because you never know what happens over here on YouTube. All right. Until the next video, I will see you then. Bye-bye.